We are getting closer to the release of Eiyuden Chronicle Hundred Heroes, and I am getting too hyped, and that is both unfortunate and great. I'm pretty excited about it. I think this is one of, if not the biggest release for me, and that's just because I'm a massive Suikoden fan. I really want to see where this new game goes, and it has definitely reminded me quite a bit of Suikoden for good reason. So I just want to talk a bit about the different features that people have talked about in previews, go over some of those previews, see what people have to say, some of the things that they have brought up. One of the things that I think is pretty interesting is that parties are apparently 10 characters. So originally, we thought that parties were just going to be 6 characters because you only see the 3 characters in the front row, 3 characters in the back row. But apparently there's also going to be a support character and 3 additional characters. I can't remember what they called them. They called them like attendants or like something like that. So I'm not sure exactly what the role of those extra 4 characters is going to be. A support character makes me think that they're going to have some value in combat. Maybe they will throw in random attacks. Maybe they'll throw in random healing. But the 3 other people, not sure. No idea what those are going to be. That sounds pretty vague to me, but interested in seeing how that goes. One other thing is random encounters are in Eiyuden Chronicle. Not happy with this one. It's something that I'm personally not a very big fan of, but it isn't a big deal breaker for me either. I played plenty of JRPGs that have random encounters, so it's something that I've been happy that JRPGs have been moving away from it, since it doesn't really feel organic. It can kind of take you out of the experience because you're jumping out of the worlds into this specific battle. Just generally, it doesn't feel great to me. But, for people that enjoy random encounters, you probably see this as a good thing. So it has its pluses and minuses. I don't think it'll be a huge deal. It definitely won't sink the game for me, as long as it's not like constant random encounters. Like that can ruin a game for me. But it doesn't sound like that's the case so far, and I guess we'll see. There is an auto battle mechanic, so you remember if anyone played the old Suikoden games, there were auto battle mechanics in those games too. Basically, your characters just attack for themselves. It's really useful for those battles that aren't like, they're just non-boss fight random encounters, and it lets you get through it without, having to expend a bunch of energy and thought power. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad that's a thing. Hopefully there'll be like the let go feature or whatever. It's something like that where you'll be able to skip random encounters that aren't at your level anymore, or something like that would be good. Just get me out of those random encounters that aren't important and just don't have any value. Apparently there is also going to be a friendship mechanic, so when 2 characters have a connection, they will protect each other in combat. So I think that was a thing in Suikoden before, if I'm remembering correctly, where the character will jump in front of the other one when they're about to die or something like that. So that is a thing in Eiyuden Chronicle. Kind of cool. There are also combo attacks, so those same characters that have some sort of connection, they'll be able to do combos. It looked like there was more than just 2 characters at a time can do it. Maybe 3 characters could do that. So that sounds pretty cool to me. They are going to be, I think it said 120 different characters to recruit, which is pretty massive. Suikoden was 108, and that was already massive. So having these 120 characters is going to be a bit ridiculous. We'll see how that goes. They are fully voiced, so I don't know how they managed to pull that one off with 120 characters, but they did it. So that is going to be a thing. 120 fully voiced characters. This is going to be a story that involves an empire and some sort of state. I don't know exactly what to call it. I think they went into more detail about it, but it's just not coming to mind right now. But there is going to be an Empire Rebel sort of feeling to it, I think, which is pretty cool. That's something that I really liked about Suikoden 1 and 2. I like being the Star Wars style rebels. It's just something I enjoy. There is also going to be party chat. So if you think about the Tales games, they have skits where you're walking through doing whatever you might be doing, and there will be pop-ups where your characters are talking while you're walking around. So it's not exactly like skits. Skits kind of pull you out of it, and they're their own thing where you focus on that. But there is going to be party chat and chatter of some sort while you're walking around in dungeons. So I think that's something that's cool. Definitely something I've loved about newer modern JRPGs. There is also a world map, which I'm super excited about. I do not like this whole new thing that they've been doing for the last... Oh, I say new. It's not new at all, but that's just because I'm old. But the thing where they just don't have world maps anymore, that's just sad. I like world maps. Give me more of those. This game does have a world map. So what that means is that, you know, you'll leave the town or whatever, and you'll have a separate map for wandering around the world. If that also means there's going to be vehicles, not sure. It looked like there might be from some of the trailers, but definitely something I'm looking forward to is exploring that world, seeing what is out there. There is going to be fixed camera in dungeons and towns, so while you're walking around a town, you're not going to be able to move the camera around at 360 degrees or anything like that. It is set in stone, so not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It just is a thing. They show you what they want you to see. Towns look decently big, so I'm okay with it. It's not really a big thing for me. The world map does have a 360 degree camera, so you'll be able to explore what that looks like in full 360 degrees. Yeah, that has been a lot of the different features, a lot of the things that people have been bringing up in the previews, and for the most part, the previews have left people pretty impressed. I don't think I've seen a preview where people are like very negative about it. They've mostly been very positive. Keep in mind, previews have only been, I think it was like the first hour of the game. So it's not like there's a ton to really dig into necessarily, but having a positive start, always a good thing. And it's been pretty unanimous, so. Some of the concerns people have had have been primarily around the combat and things like the random encounters, whether there would be too many random encounters, and obviously whether the animations will start to get old after the first 20 hours of the game, where you're seeing the same animations over and over. I imagine that having, 120 characters will help with that, so you can switch around to different characters once you get them. And you'll be able to kind of move things around and tweak enough that it probably won't be a big thing, but I could see it being a little annoying after a while. If the animations are too long or too slow, if there are too many random encounters that you have to sort of watch them over and over. But I would think by now, these aren't like new people to this genre, right? They should probably know what is a good and a bad timing on all of that stuff. So yeah, that is pretty much all I have to go over today. Eiyuden Chronicle looks great, looks fantastic. I am so excited, and I will be happy to be playing that in a couple weeks. It's going to be out on April 23rd. So that is going to be incredible. Check it out. Go pre-order. I usually say don't pre-order, but we want these guys to do well, so alright, that is it.